Welcome back. Yes, Dr. Austin Nweze joins us now. He's of the Pan-Atlantic University to continue our focus on this national conference debate. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you and good morning.
I imagine you might have heard a lot about what's happening at this conference, the stalemates they have. Monday will be the third week, and here we are. Who knows if that stalemate will be sorted out or not. But from what you've read and heard, what do you think?
Well, all these little issues coming up now is normal. When a group congregate for the first time and together, they usually time to sort out some rough edges and before they settle down for business and all that. And that's exactly what is happening in the conference.
2 months or perhaps 2 weeks?
No, see, the time, because of the nature of the conference and the number of people involved, it might even take a longer time. But as soon as they finish, they're sorting themselves out. And that's how team dynamics works, okay? So as soon as they sort out all these initial things, what to discuss, they have a goal that they have to, because the goal is not clear in their minds. Some of them, most of them, maybe wrong, but a lot of them don't even know why they're there.
Which is,
yeah.
So
So it will take time. It will take time for them to actually focus on what the business of the day. So,
but the drafters of this conference factor all of this in, knowing how human dynamics is, perhaps taking a cue from the previous conference saying, okay, if we're going to allot 3 months for this conference, we should know that 2 or say 3 weeks should be for all of these teething problems, the bonding, and all of those before you now get to the crux of the matter.
Yeah. Well, it's the 3 months they can actually achieve that. Let me give you an example. I usually tell people, if you have 8 days to cut a tree, what do? You spend 7 days sharpening the saw, and 1 day you cut it. So all these decisions to be made and all that can only take maybe a couple of weeks for them to come to a conclusion that this is when the way forward for Nigeria. So 3 months and all that, they can achieve that. It's not a problem. But they must sort out these initial issues, so that the team can move forward. So that is exactly what is happening. Time frame, even if it extends to beyond 3 months, the president can ask them to, there's nothing wrong with having 1 more week or 2 weeks.
Election year, we have other things that will get our attention. So.
Well, election is February next year.
Primaries,
this is March.
October, 2 state elections this year as well.
If you ask me, I feel that this conference is important. Every other thing should take a second place, because if we don't sort these things out, we keep, creaming the market. And nothing can, you have motion but no movement. There's an undercurrent.
But as important as you say the conference is, there are those who think that, well, the recommendations of this conference may not even be dealt with by this administration.
Well, I don't know, but the president himself has something in mind which is not telling us. And it depends, the success or failure of this conference, whether it's implemented or not, depends on the president.
Not the National Assembly?
Not even the National Assembly.
What if they send their recommendations to the National Assembly?
This National Assembly, it depends on the different interests. And don't forget, if they not feel that it does not favor them, the outcome will not favor them, they wait for you at the National Assembly because they're majority. So that will happen. Unless the middle belt says, okay, look, we want to move Nigeria forward. But the core north, what Murtala Mohammed used to call in the 60s, the holy north, if they can, they can, then themselves can say, but the other unholy north can also, decide to go with the rest of the people that want Nigeria to move forward.
Well, unconsciously, I'm just getting to see that we have somehow started discussing how people can go their separate ways, which we thought wasn't part of this whole discussion.
No, well, it's quite unfortunate, especially here in the Adamawa, Emir of Adamawa also, that Mustafa, the comment he made. And it's good that he made that comment, so that you know how people are thinking, what people have brought to the conference. But again, what bothers me most is the the average age of the people in the conference. I mean, there was a man that, was with his octogenarians. They were all gathered in the I think it was Chris Ogubanjo or something, the insurance man. And the son said, what are you people doing? He said, we're discussing the future of Nigeria. And the son said, well, how can you be discussing the future of Nigeria without me? You want to make decisions about me, but I'm not that. The youth, I believe that it mixes, but the majority of the people, we should be people that the future belongs to, so that they can have their say. But I don't see that. In some states, you see them 80-year-old, 70-year-old, who are in the evening of their lives, making decisions for younger people. And without the younger people, without anybody asking them, what is your opinion, about this? So that's what bothers me. The ratio of the old people and the young people is too this thing. And they should, more younger people should be involved in this kind of thing. But again, I hope that the conference will begin to discuss actually restructuring the polity, because that is the only way forward.
The vision of this conference, we're reading from when the Secretary of the Government of Federation read out the modalities, said they will not discuss indivisibility, but Sulai mentioned that's already being discussed inadvertently. But coming now, he said, the conference will help to strengthen our unity. Yeah. Is what we're seeing now, is this a question of it's darker a few hours before the break of dawn?
No, it's not so. You see, because you have to call some people's bluff. Don't discuss the divisibility of the nation, that Nigeria cannot divide. But hey, why not discuss it? At the end of the day, you find out that people will see reason why it is better for them to remain. Even the Adamawa Emir that was threatening to walk out, if I were the chairman, I'd walk him out. Wow. And tell them to send a new delegate. Those people that have a new mindset.
Okay. Won't that be already disrupting the conference?
No, because they already have this. It's a fight between those that want the status quo to remain. Machiavelli said in the Prince that those that benefit from the status quo, will not like a change. They will resist change. And they want the other things to remain because they are benefiting from it.
If we're going by what our previous guest said, that the agenda of the northern delegates in the last conference and the agenda in this current conference is more or less the same, maintaining of the status quo. So if you ask the Lamido to walk out, are you sure you'll not be walking out the entire North?
No, because maybe he's speaking the mind of the people of the North. But some of the northern people, especially younger ones, I still remember what my Thomas Sule some time ago. He said that the Sultan of Sokoto taught them that you cannot be running and scratching your buttocks at the same time. But the northern young people now are doing both. They're not interested in northern unity or whatever. We are the North and all that. They're more interested in making money and progressing their lives. And any environment that has to be created for them to progress, just like any other person in the country. That's what they're there for. So he's not speaking the mind of the young people, a new generation of the North. It's the old brigade who still had their mental set and all that about what Nigeria used to be and what, And let me tell you, Nigeria's biggest problem is this fear of domination by one ethnic group. That has been the fear.
It's not a genuine fear. Having seen the way those from those groups have acted when they're in positions of leadership.
Yeah, it's a genuine fear, but which could be wiped off.
How?
Don't forget that in South Africa, for instance, Nelson Mandela, what prolonged the apartheid regime was the same fear. But when Nelson Mandela had led that fear during the negotiation, he told the whites, I said, look, that he doesn't want the blacks to be in the same position as the whites. Fear that when a black man comes, they will. That the thing is that they should remove that fear. And let's work together and build up. And that is what we are asking here.
But how many of our leaders have come up with that kind of message? at the moment?
Well, it's quite unfortunate because it's all about, I keep saying that we have not been fortunate enough to have leadership that is committed to the welfare of this nation at heart. All police of the nation, I mean the people, we have not been fortunate to have such a leader because it's all about self, self, self. Nobody cares. In fact, they're not even happy that you and I are alive. They're not happy. So you find that to get this, continue to have this kind of system that we run, will not move us forward. The current system, we need to have a complete, have a departure from the status quo.